Today is Saturday, the 11th of December, and this is going to be my final report on the 2 weeks of the Cancun Conference of Parties, 16th Conference of Parties in Cancun. I spent the entire night at the plenary in the Moon Palace where the COP is taking place because the decisions and discussions went on way into the night, and finally around 4:30 a.m. the Cancun Climate Agreement was finally adopted by acclaim, and there was a standing ovation for the Mexican Minister Patricia Espinosa on behalf of all the parties for having pulled off a major achievement. The main outcome of this agreement is the new Green Climate Fund has been established. Its governance has been agreed, the way it's going to be set up with the interim transitional committee and then a standing committee in the longer term has been agreed. It will be able to absorb the $100 billion a year that hopefully will become available in the longer term. In the short term, the fast-track funding of $30 billion over 3 years has been established as well. Donor countries have pledged that amount. They are now disbursing it through various channels. The good news is that the UNFCCC channels, which are the preferred channels for the developing countries, are beginning to receive some of the funding. Australia announced $15 million for the adaptation fund, which is good news. And also we have on the adaptation track a major achievement. We now have a adaptation framework which developing countries have been asking for a long time. It is called the Cancun Adaptation Framework, and under it there will be an adaptation committee which will not just be a technical committee but also be able to make implementation through the SBI. Again, a demand that developing countries have been asking for some time. The other tracks where we have some very good progress as well is on forests, as well as on RED, on technology transfer, where a technical committee for technology transfer has been agreed. So on the whole, a very successful outcome, but even a day or two before that, it didn't look as if it would happen, especially when Russia joined Japan to say that they would not commit to a second commitment period, and it looked like things were going to collapse. Also, when the US started blocking agreement that had been reached in a number of other negotiating tracks. But I must say that the Mexican presidency took the reins. They played it very, very transparently, consulted very widely, involved ministers in finding negotiation outcomes that would be acceptable to everyone. And in the end, we did have an acceptable outcome. And Patricia Espinosa, the minister for Mexico, who was the president of the COP, deservedly received several rounds of standing ovations for a number of minutes each time one of the tracks was finally decided on and adopted. And in the end, around 5 a.m., the COP ended with a great deal of success. The major outcome is a restoration of faith in the UNFCCC process, which people were thinking was dead and not going to be able to deliver. That is good news. And also the fact that we have the building blocks for tackling the larger issues of mitigation and a legal binding agreement, which can be taken forward to Durban for the 17th Conference of Parties in a year's time.